Hey there, fellow fungi fanatics! Welcome back to the channel, where today we're diving into something super cool, super eco-friendly, and let's be honest, super tasty. That's right, we're growing oyster mushrooms right at home. If you've always thought mushrooms only grew in dark, mysterious forests or secret caves, well, think again. These little beauties can be grown right in your living room. No magic required, just a bit of patience, love, and maybe a dash of coffee grounds. Let's get started. Step 1. Choosing your substrate. What will your mushrooms feast on? First things first, your mushrooms are hungry and we need to feed them. But surprise! Mushrooms don't chow down on sunlight and water like plants do. Nope, these fungi need a substrate, something they can break down and use as food. And here's the kicker, it's mostly stuff you'd normally toss out. We're talking straw, sawdust, cardboard, and even used coffee grounds. Oyster mushrooms are like the dumpster divers of the fungal world. They're low maintenance and will happily grow on your recycling bin, which is a bonus for both the environment and your future mushroom pizza. Pro tip, if you're just starting out, straw or sawdust is the way to go because it's easy to find and work with. Coffee grounds are great too, but you'll need a lot of them, so either become best friends with your local barista or start brewing all day long. Once you've chosen your substrate, you'll need to sterilize it. This is a fancy way of saying let's kill off any other sneaky organisms trying to steal the mushroom's food. For straw, boil it or soak it in hot water for about an hour. For sawdust, you can bake it in the oven. No, this isn't a weird mushroom cooking show, it's just science. Step 2. Inoculating the substrate, time to add the magic. Alright, now that your substrate is all clean and cozy, it's time for the fun part, inoculation. This is where we add the mushroom spawn. Think of spawn as mushroom seeds, except it's not seeds at all. It's more like a little piece of mushroom already in full growth mode, just waiting to colonize your substrate like a tiny fungal empire. You'll want to evenly mix the spawn into your substrate. Be generous, like you're adding chocolate chips to cookie dough. You don't want to skimp. And hey, don't worry if it looks a bit weird. Yes, it's a bunch of white fuzzy stuff that resembles mold, but that's exactly what it should look like. In fact, if you're seeing white, that's the good stuff. You've got mycelium spreading through your substrate. This is the real backbone of the mushroom world, kind of like the underground network that makes everything else possible. After mixing the spawn into your substrate, pack it into a plastic bag or a container. Make sure you poke some holes in the bag though, because mushrooms need air to breathe too. I mean, they're living organisms, not vampires. Step 3. Incubation. Let's get fungal. Now that you've set the stage, it's time to let your mushrooms grow. And what do mushrooms love? Dark, warm, and humid environments. You're basically creating a mini tropical vacation for them. For the next 2 to 3 weeks, you'll want to keep your mushroom spawn at around 65 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit in a dark place. The closet, basement, under the bed, whatever works for you. During this time, your mycelium will spread throughout the substrate, colonizing it like some kind of mushroom Wild West. Every few days, check the bag to make sure it's staying humid. If it looks a little dry, give it a mist, but don't drown it. Mushrooms like a light rain, not a monsoon. And before you know it, the entire bag will be filled with white fuzzy mycelium. It might even look a bit like a spider web. Don't freak out, that's a good sign. Your mushrooms are getting ready for the next stage, fruiting. Step 4. Fruiting, the moment of truth. Now for the exciting part, fruiting. This is where all your hard work literally pays off in mushrooms. Move your bag or container to a cooler, brighter space, but not in direct sunlight. Think of it like a well-lit corner of your kitchen or a room with indirect light. Fresh air is key too, because mushrooms need to breathe, remember? But they're not high maintenance. They just want a little airflow and some light misting to keep them happy. Within a week or so, you'll start to see tiny little mushrooms, called pins, popping out of the holes in the bag. These are like baby mushrooms just stretching out for the first time. Honestly, it's adorable. Once they appear, they'll grow fast. I mean, one day you'll have little pins, and the next you'll have full-grown oyster mushrooms just waiting to be harvested. If your mushrooms look a little dried out, just give them a spritz with water. They love humidity, remember? And keep that airflow going. It's kind of like having a pet plant, but cooler because you can eat it. Step 5. Harvesting, the best part. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Harvest time. Your oyster mushrooms are ready when their caps start to flatten out, but before they completely turn upward, gently twist or cut them off at the base, and voila, you've got yourself some homegrown oyster mushrooms. But don't toss the bag just yet. Most mushroom substrates will give you a second or even a third flush of mushrooms. It's like nature's encore performance. Just keep misting and giving it some love and you'll get even more mushrooms. Not only do these mushrooms look amazing, but they taste incredible too. You can sauté them, throw them in a stir-fry or add them to soup. Heck, you can even make mushroom jerky if you're feeling adventurous. Whatever you choose, it's going to taste 10 times better because you grew it. So there you have it, folks. Growing oyster mushrooms at home is easier than you think, and trust me, it's incredibly rewarding. Plus, it's a fun way to get your hands dirty while learning something new. And the best part? You'll have fresh gourmet mushrooms whenever you want. No need to head to the farmer's market. If you enjoyed this video and you're ready to start your own mushroom adventure, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more DIY gardening tips, fun fungi facts, and of course delicious recipes. Happy growing, everyone!